We are here at Next Level Thoughts podcast with Akanksha.
Yay, you
I
said
got it right.
it. You
Okay.
said it.
Because before I got it wrong a few times.
Mhm.
I'm glad I got it right.
No, you're doing great.
And you were
sweetie.
eating
a tangerine.
I was gonna say oranges. That's not that.
Tangerines are like baby oranges. That's
Okay.
what I'm eating.
I definitely do not eat enough fruit or any of that stuff.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. And we were talking about one thing I do remember from. By the way, I'm gonna ask you a whole bunch of like comedy questions, like anything questions. Like
I'm ready.
there's really no structure to this podcast. People that have been on it, they know there's no structure.
That's the best kind of podcast.
I guess it's been pretty fun. I had my friend Andy Van on here a few days ago.
I know Andy Van.
And all we did, we just drank whiskey, and we had a 2-hour episode, and it was just.
Do you want to smoke a joint?
I don't smoke. I will drink. I have like. That's why I didn't know if you wanted to drink or not, but I have like.
Oh, what do you have?
I have wine and I have cider, pineapple cider beer.
I love cider.
You want a pineapple cider beer?
Sure.
But anyway, we are back here with cider beer. That was the most interesting start to the podcast. We were just talking. We're like, you know what?
You know what? I want to switch up the beverage.
You know what this coffee needs? A cider beer.
A cider beer.
Cheers to the cider beer.
Cheers.
Salud. Oh yeah, those are 2 different flavors.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase it with this coffee.
Yeah, those are different.
Yeah, that's weird, but
It's a very. I feel like I don't know which one to go to anymore. There's a lot of stuff happening right now.
yeah.
When I was saying, we legit. There's no structure, as I told you before.
Okay.
And Andy and I just drank whiskey for like 2 hours and just were pretty buzzed and just had a fucking great time. And just
Awesome.
talking about like comedy, but also just life. And then the first time I met you, or I've seen you on stage, and you were doing an Indian accent.
Well, I wasn't doing an Indian accent. That's my accent.
No, but you were like over. What's the word?
No, okay, so I'll explain.
Okay.
I was born and raised in India.
Okay.
This is what my real accent sounds like. But I have a white voice, which is what I use to talk to most people.
That's what I. Do you do it on? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna move this a little bit just because I feel like. Be
Okay.
closer. You don't have to be up here. I just want to
Alright.
move closer.
Okay.
So you said you have a white voice.
Yeah. So this is what I really sound like. This is how I was born and raised in Mumbai, speaking English. Okay. This is what I sound like, baseline. But when I moved to the United States, I realized that like people just always had shit to say, man. People just always had shit to say. They would hear my accent and like start.
The way you just switched up that like that in my mind is processing that. I'm like, what is?
I know, it's weird. Like, it's hard to explain because I did it so long ago that like now I don't know how to explain to people. Like, I just have two modes of functioning. Like if my dad were to call me right now, I would switch back into this.
How do you? Oh my god. Okay. Well, but you speak your quote unquote white voice now,
Right.
but you don't have to think about like.
No, because it's like a second language. You know, when you move to a country, you want to like sound like the locals. Is how I explain it to people.
Okay.
Like I just watched enough Seinfeld and like it wasn't hard. I picked it up.
Just watch over to Seinfeld.
Just watched a bunch of Seinfeld. Like growing up in India, like literally it was like Bollywood movies and Seinfeld.
Well, were you watching them like with the purpose of trying to get rid of it, or just watching it just to watch it?
I was just watching it to watch it, but like American accent is not hard to learn.
No,
like,
well, people think every time I hear people like quote the American accent, they're always like, "Oh, how do they?" Right? Like a very country.
Yeah, like the southern.
Like that's
twang.
American-ish, but
I feel like I just watch so many shows about like just white people like shooting the shit that like I just learned how they were doing it.
That
And they
70s show?
Yeah, that 70s show, Friends, unfortunately, Seinfeld.
I never seen any episode of Friends or Seinfeld. I know them, but
Man, I'm gonna take away your comedian card. You never watched Seinfeld?
I barely have a comedian card. It's
We're
fine.
both.
I barely have one. No, I definitely. I I watched one episode of Friends because I had to for class. But
I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, the thing is with TV shows now, and this the honest truth. If I watch an episode, I have to watch everything, and I have like addictive personality, mainly for TV shows.
Yeah, I feel that. Me too.
And it's mainly for binging. Like I just watched How to Get Away with Murder, and I didn't want to watch it. I was like, don't, because if I watch one,
well, that show draws you in. Like every episode ends on a cliffhanger.
It
so
really
I get
does.
it.
So I watched all 7 seasons in like a week and a half. It consumed. So I was like, I don't want. If I watch Seinfeld, I'm gonna end up wanting to watch all whatever seasons there were.
9 seasons.
Yeah, like that's week and a half, 2 weeks.
If you're gonna watch one episode of Seinfeld, like just watch the one that's called The Marine Biologist.
Okay.
It's a good one. That's my like recommendation for the non-Seinfeld.
It's
like the gateway episode.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Marine biologist.
Well, people might disagree with me because like white people specifically have really strong feelings about Seinfeld.
The theme for this whole thing is for white people.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put your name.
Let's just start roasting them.
White people. Well, then you talk about white people, but a lot of your act, or it's not a lot of it, but some of your bits that you have are about you
performing whiteness,
being attracted to white people, white guys.
Yeah, that's my toxic trait.
So then you can't. How come you can just bag on them all the time, and then you're like,
it's. I don't know. I just chalk it up to like post-colonial trauma. Like India has not been free for that long. India has been free for less time than Donald Trump has been alive. So generationally speaking, I'm pretty sure there's like some post-colonial trauma in my brain that like has me so fiercely attracted to skinny white boys. I have no other explanation.
Like, fair enough. I mean, I'm not attracted to skinny white boys, but
that's fair.
To each their own. Is that the term? It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I used it.
Yeah, it's kind of like I say, like, I like my food spicy, but I like the dick unseasoned. It's just who I am.
Can I quote that? Can I just one more time? Just
on the record.
Yeah, on the record. Just so I was gonna have when I put the episode out on just parentheses that quote.
Okay, I'll say it again. I like my food spicy, but I like my dick unseasoned.
Is that
I'm sorry.
Is that an original quote by you?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Unseasoned.
I mean, it's like part of my skinny white boy joke. But it does well. The skinny white boys really like it. They usually die.
I'm sure after you say the skinny white boy jokes at a mics, a lot of skinny white boys come up to you and be like, "Well, hey."
Well, that's the problem though. Is like I think I like a specific type of skinny white boy, not just like any skinny white boy off the street, which is who usually ends up in my DM. Yeah, like just I'm not running like an adoption service. I'm not like. It's not, like, extreme in the way that my joke makes it out to be. But, they just need, like, this much encouragement, and they're there. They're there. Wow. Sliding and slipping and whatever you want to call it.
Sliding and slipping.
Stumbling.
Interesting. Okay, now I'm learning so much right now. Sliding and slipping. Well, back to the dating topic. We were talking about white boys. No, but before... So you said about, because I actually did research for this. And by research, I went to your Instagram and watched a lot more of the jokes, which one of them you took down, I think. The toothbrush one.
I did take down the
toothbrush. You did, right? Okay.
Joke.
I thought you did.
Yeah, because I'm doing this grid thing where, like, I just post, like, 3 things at a time to make my page look uniform. And that joke was just kind of standalone. So I just removed it for aesthetic purposes.
Okay, I was wondering. I remember you told me the joke. I saw a clip of it, and then I went back to go look at different jokes and find out more about you, and then like legit. I know most of it, but
that was also my first time. That was also my first time ever doing the toothbrush joke, so it wasn't very strong necessarily, but it's a good joke. I mean, if I have a chance to perform literally ever again, I will.
With what we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's such a weird time.
It is. The weirdest.
Stand up.
Why would you stand up so?
I was jealous.
Funny?
I saw your Instagram and you were at a mic, and I was like really upset.
Well, it was like a stand up at 6 feet away thing. These two like students who are like studying comedy, whatever that means, put it on, and it was really cool. Like they sanitized the mics between comics, and they like had everybody sitting like really far apart. It was like an amphitheater, so like people just weren't close enough.
You don't have to wear your mask when you're talking to the mic, do you?
No, but we like because if we didn't want to wear our mask, we had to like thoroughly sanitize the mic with a wipe, which is what we did. Yeah, it was a really cool experience, and I feel like the existence of this mic has started like a war in the comedy community.
Really?
Because like another comic literally vague posted me and put like all these clown emojis being like, this is a danger to yourself and others, and I was like, I get it. I get it. But also if I don't perform, I might explode.
That's how I feel.
I really am just like, this was it was very safe, and I also took a COVID test like 2 days after because I was like, just to be sure, because I haven't.
Is it still the COVID test where they like stick something down your nose, like the hurtful pain?
Yes, the nose.
See, I gotta wait till it's not as painful, and then.
Well, there's a mouth one, and then there's a nose one, and the mouth one is kind of like easy for me because I have a great gag reflex. But the nose one, that one sucks. Yeah.
Alright.
But the nose one is more accurate, is from what I've heard.
How long does it take for the results to come back in?
Mine literally came in 2 days later.
Oh shit! And you're negative.
I'm negative. I'm vibing. I'm good.
Thank you. Good. I have not got tested, but I've been very safe, just kind of hanging out here and just mask everywhere, hand sanitizer right over there behind that Napoleon Dynamite thing.
Nice.
Right behind there. No, yeah, because I was looking at your jokes and whatnot, but one thing I did notice is that most comics have a thing where they like bag on themselves and put themselves under the audience, so then the audience can relate to them. Like they have like, oh, I'm short, oh, I'm really short, and you kind of beat yourself down to like so they'll be accepting of you. You don't do that. You have a very different approach.
I mean, for me, it's like, I know I'm a hot girl, so I'm not gonna like go up there and pretend I'm ugly. No one's gonna believe me anyways, So there's that, but then also I just feel like on a serious, like, from the serious perspective of like why I do that is because I feel like women of color in society are already, like, we're already here. I don't feel like we need, I think we need comedians and like figures who are just like affirming for us and who elevate ourselves and recognize what's good about ourselves because society doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's definitely part of it. I also I remember I took a comedy class at a club that I shall not name.
Oh, I already know.
Yeah.
I know both, and I do not like both.
Yes. Names changed for the story, but the host of it named Jake.
What does a comedy club rhyme with?
Clappers.
Annie and I spent like 30 minutes talking shit about it.
Okay,
but
great.
I like the club because I started there, but you grow out of it at some point.
I do think they've given me like a platform, and they've paid me for shows, and
yes,
like I appreciate the fact that they are like a launching pad for a lot of new comedians, and in general like very welcoming. But like all that said, like I won what a prize at one of my own comedy shows. My friend in the audience won like a free pass to a comedy class, and literally one of the teachers got up on stage and they started saying like, so when I get up here, if I look like I'm all that, if I look beautiful, guess what? The audience hates me. And I was like, okay, go on. And she's like, yeah, so you gotta like make fun of yourself, you gotta like self-deprecate. And it's like, I think there's a fine line, because I think me having a problematic addiction to skinny white boys is self-deprecating.
Problematic addiction.
Yeah. That is self-deprecating, but I'm also not gonna go up there and be like, oh, my skin sucks, I'm ugly, I'm short, because like women already receive a lot of like body shaming and negative messages in society, specifically like women of color who don't look like the traditional standard of beauty. So I just want to be that hot girl comic. Like, I just want to be that bitch. And so
I would say that with the clips that I saw, you own it pretty well because you're up there and you usually, majority of people, they're up there like, oh, I'm attractive, I'm hot, I'm this, and I have a great body, and all the stuff you would say. Usually you would lose the crowd and then they kind of bail on you.
Because you also can't alienate, like, it's more of like a playful self-awareness where it's like, oh, I know these things about myself, but also here's how neurotic I am.
There's a line, there's a very fine line somewhere, which I would say you're walking it pretty well, you're kind of doing well at doing both ways of people are like, oh, she's okay, but like, but you have to acknowledge, I mean, like I said, if there's something you have to acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, I'm not going to be liked by everybody. Like, someone literally posted me...
you want, trust me, I don't.
Someone literally posted me at the 6 Feet Away comedy show on their story, being like, you're a clown. And to me, it's like, I have a Leo rising, so what that means is when I have haters, it means...
Say it again?
I have a Leo rising. And not that you should care about astrology.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is that thing with the birthdays and all that?
Mm-hmm.
So you're a Leo?
Chart. No. I'm a Sagittarius, but I have a Leo rising, which we don't have to get into because it's very boring for men.
No, I mean, okay. I mean, you can tell me if you want, or we can just...
Okay. Well, Leo, I guess, like, you've probably heard, like, some of the traits are, like, we love attention and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But I'm a Leo rising, which means, like, that's how the world sees me.
Gotcha.
I think that's what that means. And then the moon is, like, who you authentically are. I don't know. And then the sun is, like, how you want to be seen. Anyways, so the rising, I think, is how people see you. And I think some people, like, the people that don't like my comedy or don't like me just see me as, like, an attention whore or, like, someone who, like, needs validation or something. But that's just, to me, like, they don't really understand it or they don't really get it. Because I really am trying to be empowering, especially for Indian women. Because, like, a lot of the Indian women comics that I see are children of immigrants, right? And so their shtick will be, like, making fun of their parents or, like,
True, I've seen that.
their parents' accents. And to me, like, I have that accent, and I'm still all that. So, not to be a hater, but I want to represent a little bit of that. Like, just, you know, immigrants are fucking cool too, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing with it a little bit, is just providing, like, a bit of perspective when you're used to hearing, like, the same type of narrative around immigrants or immigrant parents in particular.
Okay. All that from Leo rising.
All that, yeah.
I'm learning so much about this right now.
Back to the Leo rising.
I was like, I'm learning so much about all this stuff. I would say doing this podcast, well, part of why I'm doing it is just to talk to comics again, because I miss, like,
I know.
Just the talk.
Just the riffing.
That's it. I just miss that.
I miss it
which
so
is,
much.
I had so much fun doing this podcast.
Talking to regular people sucks. Like, it really
They're not.
does.
They get offended too easily.
They can't match the energy.
Energy's not there. They get offended. They aren't quick-witted. They don't. I'm just like, come on, man.
Oh, come on, keep up.
But they don't. Which is why I made this with no instruction.
Well, I'm really glad. This is super fun.
Yeah, I do like it. I just had I had a few comics that were like, dude, this is like the most fun I had. There's no rules. I don't have like.
Yeah.
I don't really do any. I think by research I meant like I just went to Instagram. I watched clips that I already seen before and just thought of different questions of like the one thing I talked about is like you just have a different approach to putting yourself. Because I do the opposite. When I'm on stage, tell people like, oh, I think I said I look like the Mexican Jimmy Neutron.
I love that joke. That's how I remembered you, like, in the beginning. Because, like, you were at the mic that I went to a lot. And then you were also working at the comedy club that shall not be named.
Yeah, Rhymes with Clappers.
Rhymes with Clappers. And I had a show. I was in it, Uncle
Clyde's
comedy.
Oh, wait, no.
I was in
Uncle
Rick's
George's
comedy contest, and you were working, and you came up to me later, and you were like, "Oh, hey, like, good set," and I recognized your face, and I was like, "Oh, it's Mexican Jimmy Neutron. What up?"
I do remember you said that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good joke. It's great.
I like it. Well, the thing is, it's not really.
It's not even self-deprecating. It's just clever.
Well, I guess it's because when I had the hair, right now I don't have my hair up that's high, but before I had it even higher.
Yeah, no, when you said that, like, it instantly clicked for me. I was like, yes. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, I always, like, even I have jokes about, like, me having asthma or, like, my insecurities, just kind of bagging to myself just because, like, because I feel like that's my way to get in with the audience, and I would say, oh, I have this, or I'm short, or whatever, like, the case may be, even though I over-exaggerate a lot of the things I say.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, me too, because, like, yeah, like, my persona or, like, my comedy is definitely, like, yes, ethnic girls, like, love yourself, we're hot, we're amazing, but, you know, I can, like, hate myself too, but I just do it privately, off stage.
This is the sad part of the show.
This is the crying part.
This is
the therapy corner.
This is the part when
now
you decided
for
it. Yeah. When you decided and we get more whiskey, this is what happens with this. I do like the no structure thing because you can change. Like one of the podcasts we were talking about, like we went in like 2 minutes. We went from like talking about favorite fast food, like McDonald's and why it's the best, to talking about like cancel culture and that whole thing. And it shifted so quick, and you can just talk about anything. I don't like it to be.
Well, that's how I feel like I like that because that's how conversations flow. I'm a Sagittarius. I don't do well with structure. I'm going to keep saying things about astrology.
Yeah, for sure. We're sponsored by all those things. Yep. Sagittarius, Leo rising. I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
I don't know what you can do with that information.
Nothing, because I need the whole chart. You know, I can't do anything with just the sun.
But I said it was just pointless then.
Yeah, you can text me your birth date, birth time, and
birth time matters too.
Yes.
Really? Does it though?
It does, because it governs your rising sign. Not that any of this should matter. but if you are curious.
And you're full on, like, are believing in everything, right?
No, which is fine. Not really. I think it's more of just, like, a fun thing.
Okay.
Because, like, it's fun to see what aligns and what doesn't. Like, I don't live and die by it. But at this point, I've gotten kind of used to, like, explaining things using that as a framework where I'm like, oh, this makes sense because I'm a Leo rising.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
I'm glad, I'm glad to educate and inspire.
And how long have you been doing comedy for?
A little bit over a year.
Okay, so you're pretty new in the game.
Yeah.
And then it stopped because...
Obviously.
But you've been out here for...
I've been in LA for 6 years.
Okay. And you moved here for what?
Good question. Honestly, the weather.
That's what I tell people. People ask me what I came here for, I say the weather.
I grew up in India, right? I'm a tropical bitch. It's like, I cannot survive the cold. I went to college in Boston.
Wow.
And yeah, I literally, what's funny, like, people in India were like, it's going to be cold over there. And I had no frame of reference for what cold was. So I was like, cold, whatever, I'll deal with that. And then it was like -30 my first winter there.
Yeah, from Chicago, it's cold as fuck.
Yeah. So it was the weather, and then I also majored in TV and film. So I was like, well, I'm gonna find a job.
Oh, okay. So you majored in TV and film, and then you came to LA to just find. Did you have like a specific like you want to be behind the camera, in front of it, acting?
Behind the camera. I'm not an actor. Like, that's one of the things that stresses me about comedy the most is how many actors are just like trying to be funny. Because it's the opposite for me. Like, I'm funny, but I can't. Like, the acting and performing scares me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because acting and performing, like, behind the camera scares you, but going on stage and being funny for people that are expecting you to be funny.
Yeah. That scares me too.
Yeah, that's also...
Honestly, I'm a comedy writer, so, like, you'll notice that my jokes are very written. Like, they're very structured and they're very, like, I don't know, there's, like, definitely a writer wrote these jokes. They're not just like, oh, yeah, I was out on Tinder swiping, whatever, like, they're very,
planned out, more like worded. Like you probably when you write material, do you write down like word for word or like?
Sometimes I just write down like the punchline in the way that I want to say it.
Okay.
But I'll kind of meander on how I get there. Like I'm flexible in that
kind of
way.
what? Meander.
Meander.
Got it. It's a lot of Chicago public school system. You gotta bear with me here. It's funny every time, but I won't lie to people. Every time, I mean, I did that word I did know.
Yeah.
But if there's words that people say that I don't know, I'm not just gonna be like.
Pretend you know.
Yeah, it's like fucking. I don't care.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I joke about too. Is like being an immigrant from India. People always assume that, my English was bad at some point, which it literally never was. Like, I was raised in the British school system.
Oh, shit.
And my dad was actually raised, like, very, very early post-freedom, I guess. And I don't know what to call it. But
that's good enough.
Post-liberation.
That might be more proper. Okay.
Yeah. So he had this thing with me, which was, like, if you can speak English well, if you're articulate, if you're a good communicator, you can do anything you fucking want. And he dropped out of school, like, in the 10th grade and is now, like, a teacher at MBA colleges.
Oh, shit.
So I definitely became very verbose and wordy, like, because of him. And so it's funny when people are like, oh, like, your English is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, English is just one of the languages that I speak better than you.
I did hear that, Joel. I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all come together full circle. So then you did the TV and film, you majored in that, and then you came to LA, and you were here how long before you did stand-up? So 4 years then?
5.
And then you just decided what? Like,
honestly, so I work a corporate job at a major media network that I'm not going to name.
I know. You told me this, right?
Mm-hmm, and they would definitely fire me if I said where I work.
Does it rhyme with no?
No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
I know, we will. I know who it is because we talked before.
You know who it is, and like
clappers.
I have 401k money. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So
I don't feel that bad about the whole Uber thing now. I felt bad earlier.
No, it's funny because they give you all these benefits, but my actual take-home pay is way less than what people are making.
Don't try to downplay it now.
No, I'm being serious. Like, I definitely need a side hustle. Thought about starting an OnlyFans. We can get into that later.
And then wait, just to be clear, because I know what it is kind of, and I heard of it. It's just a girl. Is it like the fans tell them what? How does that work?
I don't know, because I obviously don't have one yet, but I will
you did your
if
research.
anyone's interested.
For the 4 people listening?
For the 4 people listening, if you want to subscribe, I'm probably going to price it at $6.99 a month. But OnlyFans is like, I think people use it to like share like explicit videos, like nudes and stuff.
That's what I thought.
When you already like have a following, like it makes more sense if you have like thousands of followers, because then you can monetize that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would be naked on my OnlyFans. I think I would just be like cute and like smoke a blunt and like ask you about your day, because I think some people need that more these days.
I'll be cute, smoke a blunt, and ask you about your day.
I mean, in minimal clothing, but I wouldn't be naked.
Hey, get naked. Now I'm just gonna smoke a blunt, ask you about your day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I have tattoos, so it's like I don't want to be identified like.
Oh yeah, how many do you have?
I have 5, and I'm getting another one in a couple weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a new one you're getting?
Well, August, like this month, actually marks 10 years in the United States for me on August 23rd.
Congratulations.
It's wild. Like, this is not where I thought I would be at all.
In the living room in Glendale in this podcast?
No. It's absolutely wild, but I'm commemorating that. So I'm going to get, like, a little tarot card almost with 2 mangoes on it, but the mango leaves are going to be like stars for the U.S. flag. And I'm going to get a Roman number 10 on the card, and the text at the bottom will say NRI, which is non-resident Indian. So that's what I'm getting.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
10 years in the making tattoo.
Yeah, I definitely want to commemorate it, because, like, I'm a failure, but I'm still here, I'm by myself, I'm okay.
You are here, and you are good. Wait, so is your family, are they all back in India?
Yeah, my entire family's back in India. I don't like to think about it, but they are.
It's. I mean, I'm the only one out here. All my family, they're in Chicago. It's not
Yeah.
obviously India's a lot further away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I mean, you just gotta like. I mean, but you came out here for that reason. Like you knew what you signed up for, sort of thing.
Actually, no, because when
What?
I moved here, Obama was president,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Like growing up in India, we had a really naive kind of perception of America. Like the streets are paved with gold, everybody's rich, and
Really?
yeah, we didn't understand that there was poor people in India, poor people in America. I mean, and we didn't understand that there were not white people in America.
Oh.
Because all the TV shows we watched, like minorities were just like the butt of the joke or like one-dimensional sidekick type characters. So like we didn't have an understanding of what American life actually was. And then you guys had a black president, so we just thought like, oh, that's cool. They're post-racial now, like. And 10 years later, like realizing the truth is like.
It's way.
It is not what it seems on the outside.
Well, I feel like
it
people.
Is a scam. That's. America is a scam.
There you go. I feel like when people think of America who aren't Americans, they just see like have, oh, we're lazy Americans and like overweight and everyone eats fast food and all that. Is that the same like in India? You guys looked at Americans and thought that? Okay.
Yeah, and the funny thing is for women specifically, my entire family was like, oh, you're gonna like become a slut. Like American girls are sluts. Like that was the big thing that they had, a perception of like all American girls are sluts. And I was like, oh, you mean they have sexual freedom? like, okay.
Those two things are different.
And it's funny because not all American girls have that. Like I meet Indian girls who are raised here whose family is so much more hardcore than mine.
Really?
Like, because my family doesn't care if I get married. They're not going to make me have an arranged marriage. Like, they're excited that I do comedy. Like,
okay.
Because I was raised in Mumbai, which is like a very big city. Like, Bollywood's over there. It's kind of like LA.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I find it weird that, like, Indian Americans are so fucking hardcore. Because, like, we're not. Like, we were chilling over there in Mumbai.
We were chilling over there in Mumbai.
Yeah, like, my parents listened to the Thong song. They listened to Karma Chameleon.
The Thong song?
Yeah.
That song was so legit.
It really was.
Every time, it's such a good song.
It's such a good song. Like, I don't know, my family was chill.
Now it's just going to be in my head the whole day.
And when I meet people's Indian families here, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Like, go back to the village. I can't with you right now. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
Because I feel like American Indians expect that my upbringing would be more hardcore. But, you know,
sure they would.
My parents know I have tattoos. They know I do comedy. I literally don't
and
have
they
to
were
hide
cool with all that. The tattoos from the
They
beginning.
don't care, yeah. I mean, I don't have a relationship with my mom, so really it's just my dad. But he's cool with it, you know.
He's chilling. He's like, oh, you know what?
He's chill. And
Tattoos, comedy, do your thing.
But I also think I'm lucky because, like, Indian dads can be so toxic, like, especially when they have daughters.
Controlling, right?
Yeah, controlling, like, emotionally unavailable, like, just assholes.
I had one Indian friend out here, and her dad was, like, very super controlling and this, and I was like,
that
holy
sucks.
shit, man.
Mine is, like, we're, like, best friends. Like, he always told me from the beginning, like, I want a daughter because, like, men suck. Like, he's a total feminist. He works for, like, empowering women to get STEM education in India. Like,
oh, shit.
He's, like, just, like, a really cool dude. And I'm just, like, when I see other people's Indian dads, I just feel lucky that I don't have to hide my tattoos or pretend I don't wear crop tops. Like,
yeah, you wear crop tops, you have tattoos, fuck it.
Fuck it. I mean, and one thing that's great is, like, he understands that. That stuff doesn't detract from my intelligence. It doesn't detract from, like, me having a personality. It doesn't mean anything.
You still use big words.
I'm still meandering.
That's not a word.
Articulating.
Both of those are not words.
Okay.
I think you're mistaken words.
I don't think so.
I love telling people that. They use a big word. I'm like, not a word. And they're like, it is a word. And they like try to defend it. I'm like, not a word.
I'm just like, if there's one thing I'm like thoroughly confident in, it's knowing how to use words. That's
Such
like
a weird thing to be
like
confident
my
in.
only talent.
I'm very confident the words are gonna. I got them. I have the words,
Yeah.
and I'll use them correctly.
Yeah, you know, my two talents are using words in context and giving good head. Like, those are my two talents.
Those are very different good topics, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're good at both, why not?
Why not? Why not both?
That's what the basis of every strong relationship. What do you look for in a girl? I just really want some good head, but I also, the kicker.
It's really important.
I just need.
I just
her to use
need
good
her to
words.
make fancy sentences.
Yeah.
Please.
That
that
for me is a must. The
It's a
head thing.
requirement.
The head thing is, you know, that's
Negotiable.
yeah. It's not. Come on, you don't have to. Now you're just doing it on purpose. No,
I'm not. I'm
now
not.
you
I'm
just.
not. This is how I talk. Like,
No.
you've heard my jokes,
Oh.
and they're like this.
Oh man.
The thing is, like, I always wanted to be a comedy writer. I have a comedy pilot that I'm, like, trying to shop around or whatever, but I never knew if my voice was resonating or if my voice was funny, and that's why I started doing stand-up, because stand-up is, like, instant feedback.
Oh, so would you
Like,
try
you
out
know.
some of the jokes that you have in your pilot, or like similar, and try them out on stage?
Well, the themes are similar, because my
Okay.
pilot is about being a millennial immigrant. Like, I don't think you see that enough. Like, you'll see, like, Rami and stuff, which is, like, children of immigrants.
Which I want to watch. It's on
Yeah.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a great show, but I don't feel like I have seen my experience represented anywhere of, like, literally moving out here by yourself,
Jeez.
like, as a teenager and
Were you
figuring shit
scared?
out. Hell yeah, I was scared. Like,
When you first moved from India, but you went to Boston,
yeah.
and then what the fuck?
No, it really was, like, such a what the fuck moment, because all I'd seen was, like, American college TV shows, and it was not like that.
What was American college TV shows?
Like, you know, Greek, and, like, these really niche kind of shows about going to college in America. I can't really remember
Okay.
all of them, but I've watched, like, One Tree Hill, which was high school.
Yeah,
Like,
heard of it.
I had certain perceptions of, like, what my experience would be, and it was not that. Like, one of the reasons I actually changed my accent, too, was because people made fun of it.
Really?
Like, hardcore made fun of it. Like, I was in a writing class, and I had to read, like, an excerpt.
That would get.
Yeah.
That's that thing that was like really.
Well, I'll tell you the word, too, because, like,
Oh, let's hear it.
it was Wednesday was the word, but Indians pronounce every part of that word. So it's like Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. And so when I said that, the class started laughing. And I was, like, emotionally scarred. I was like, I cannot give these bitches, whose English is not even as good as mine, the opportunity to laugh at my accent. So I just changed it.
How long did it take you? Because at that point you were actively trying to work to change it.
Yeah. I don't know. It took me a while. Like, it honestly took me, like, almost a year or two to, like, fully sound American. Like, because there was a weird hybrid time where, like, certain
it was
words,
both?
yeah, it
Okay.
was both.
I was gonna ask you. It should be like like a hybrid time. For
Yeah.
that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
We have a similar thing because in freshman year of high school, well, every time before then, but it's when I got rid of it. I had a really bad lisp, so I would I would say words like this, like
Mhm.
really bad, like lisp, like really. I hated it, and I hated public
How do you
speaking.
even get rid? I didn't know you could get rid of a list.
Yeah. I didn't need it until the time. So then I had a really bad lisp, and I was like that one moment how you said that word Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mine was I had to go up and do a speech about like my vacation, and I went to Mexico. But when I said it, I was like Mexico, like that. Oh, they started laughing, and like how you felt like that.
Yeah, that like sinking feeling.
Yeah, we're just like,
oh my god.
And I just started my speech. I had to finish it.
You know, to this day, when I say Wednesday, it hurts.
Every time I say Mexico.
So I'm just like, I feel like Americans are wrong for omitting. Like, there is a D and an N and a D.
There is. I mean, you're not wrong.
So I'm just like, the fuck day.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like,
It's that word, that certain word, and that word for me was that. And then right when that happened, I was like, I gotta change it. I can't. And I had braces too. I was like, I gotta change all of this.
Oh my god.
And I said I hated public speaking, and then I saved up enough money.
See,
for
that's
speech
why
therapists.
that's why we're funny. Like,
because we had to go through trauma. Like,
you have to have trauma, right?
If you didn't get made fun of in high school,
then like you shouldn't be a comedian. Like,
if you didn't get made fun of, you're probably at you're a lawyer or a doctor for sure.
Like, it's funny. Like, there were a lot of things that I was made fun of for when I first moved to America. Like, not just my accent, but my eyebrows, which like.
Right.
Yeah, because I have thick eyebrows, and, like, they're so trendy now. Like, white women are literally pressing blades into their skin to, like, slightly have their eyebrows look
now
like
I'm staring at your eyebrows now. Like, now I'm not
yeah, no, they're very perfect.
Wow. There's that confidence. I like it.
But, yeah, in the beginning, when I moved to the States, like, the thin eyebrow thing was still trending. And having thick eyebrows was something, like, literally I got called, like, a curry muncher. I got called all...
Curry muncher?
I don't know what that means. Very creative, but not applicable.
Applicable.
Are you going to keep a tally?
I have it. I'm writing it down.
Every $10 word.
I am. It's right here. I'm writing it down.
Okay.
All these words are not necessary.
I mean...
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so I was made fun of for things like having a big booty or like having eyebrows, and I just think it's really funny.
How do you get made fun of for that? Isn't that like an attractive thing that?
Well, now it is.
Even back then, J-Lo, wasn't she like the fucking?
I don't know. I feel like when I moved, or maybe it was because I was in Boston, but like the white standard of beauty was it. So like having eyebrows, having a nose, having booty, like all of that was like a problem.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, oh, it's funny how the tables turn and these white women are shelling out thousands of dollars to slightly look like me.
Like, interesting what's going on now.
Yeah, because like I look at the Kardashians and how they have like completely appropriated black culture and like are trying to look like black women.
Well, the Khloe Kardashian?
Oh my god, she's unrecognizable.
She's a different person.
Yeah.
I don't know, what did she do? I didn't do any research on her at all, but I saw a picture and she is just not her.
No, all of them. I'm just like, you realize you're still white, right? Like, you've done all this to not look white. But like,
they're Armenian, right?
Yeah, but I don't even know where Armenia is like, on the spectrum of color. I don't
either. All I know is like right in Glendale is like the main Armenian hub. So their Armenian people are everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm okay. Like I'm gonna get in so much trouble for saying this, but I feel like they're like diet people of color. The Kardashians, they're not like full people of color. I can't consider them.
Well, that's the end of our podcast. Just wanted to say thank you for everyone listening. This is the end of our careers. Goodbye.
Yeah, bye. Shouldn't have said that.
No.
No, and
I also won't edit anything out.
I don't mean like all Armenians. I mean the Kardashians specifically.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, they're so removed from actually experiencing what it's like to be a person of color. And Kendall and Kylie are full white.
They really are.
Yeah. So it's just like, Kylie really has no business photoshopping her photos to look black. And, you know, she has a black child, but that doesn't make her black by association. So there's a lot of confusion in that family.
There's a very, very lot of confusion in that family.
Yes.
That was not a proper sentence. There's a very, very lot of confusion in that.
You could do without the very, very. There's simply a lot.
No, I'm going to leave very, very in
There's
there.
very, very a lot.
I think I'm going to leave very, very and add what you did.
Okay,
very,
you're kind of balancing me out a little bit.
There's a very, very lot of confusion in that family, as I was saying earlier. A lot of stuff going on. Bet. I even forgot how we started talking about the Kardashians. Oh, the eyebrows, yeah.
Eyebrows, booty, like lips, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's really funny because I had all this for free and you guys are making fun of me.
Look now. Well, things were different back in the I remember I had to talk with some I forgot, pretty much J-Lo back in the day. You know how she was known for her big booty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back and look at it, I was talking to my ex about
this. Look at
this.
the booty or look at what?
No, and I was talking to my ex about this. If you go back and look at J-Lo back in like the
Mm.
90s, 2000s, and oh my God, big booty, whatever. You look at it now, like go back, it's like normal. Not even, it's like nothing compared to today. It's so changed
but I
over.
think it was the standard. It was because of the standard being flat booty, like at the time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Everyone's like the
Yeah.
flat booty, and then I looked and I'm like, that's what?
Yeah, I mean,
So
compared to what
different.
the standard was, and like also J-Lo being a woman of color and like naturally being like curvier, like that's why I think it was a big deal because there weren't even that many Latina women like who were famous at the time or like who were so in
No.
pop culture as she was. So
It wasn't a lot.
yeah,
Oh, bueno. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I can't think of any more. The girl from White Man Can't
Gwen
Jump.
Stefani tried to be.
Isn't she white?
Yeah, but she made this whole music video. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like inspired by Chola culture and like.
Is it the banana song?
No, it's
Sweet is banana.
not that one.
Okay.
It's another
That's
one.
the only one I know from her.
I can't remember which song it is, but it was a pretty famous song of hers. And she like had the whole music video in like a nail salon. She did like the thin eyebrows, the lip liner. Like she really thought that she was doing something.
She really thought she was doing something. She
Yeah.
really thought she thought, but no.
Mhm. No, it was funny because the extras were all like, I think actual Latina women, or maybe they were in brown face. I don't know. It was a fucked up time.
Brown face.
It was a fucked up time. But yeah, she really was like, you know what? I'm Latina now.
That's it. She decided.
That's it.
She identified as Latina. That's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
Interesting how it's going. Oh, I do have a question.
Mm.
I kind of had. You know what I wanted to do, and I keep saying this every podcast, and I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. Let's do it then.
I don't know if I can come up with it now, but you can help me maybe.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to or always finish off the podcast asking the guest like a certain type of like question and ask it every time. Like, oh, where do you know, if you can meet 18-year-old you or teenage you, what advice would you give yourself? Something like question, just something like that. But I can't think of any like questions. I don't know. Who's your favorite comic?
Oh.
Besides me, of course.
Yeah, besides you. It's hard to pick. Do you mean like in the scene or like in life? Like famous people included?
Let's do in life.
Okay.
Or like in.
I don't even know enough comics in the scene to be honest, so I couldn't answer.
Yeah, when you said that, like, who do you must know.
No, I hate all of you. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, thank you. I'm part of that group.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
You know who I hate the most?
Let's hear it.
Is that one guy at the comedy club that shall not be named, who he always looks dirty. He always
I know who
looks
it is.
like he crawled out of a fucking dumpster.
I'm gonna put him. He's actually. I want to invite him to do this one.
Oh God! Make sure you sanitize the shit out of everything.
Oh, I know who it is. I'm not gonna say the name.
No, don't say his name. He knows who he is because he matches the description.
Andy Van. Yeah, I
No,
know.
it's it's not Andy Van, but
I know who it is.
I'll withhold comment.
But
on
he's
that
funny
one.
though.
No, objectively
funny.
speaking, no.
Do you think part of you thinking it's not funny is because you already
It's
have?
not. It's not because
a
he's
judgment of him?
unattractive. Like there's ugly, funny people, and I can acknowledge them. He's not one of them. He's
I
ugly
can
and
acknowledge
unfunny.
them. Like they're different types of species. They're ugly and they're funny. I can acknowledge them. They're fine.
Yeah,
They're people.
Noted. But he's ugly and unfunny. Like literally, this man has zero redeeming qualities as a person.
Don't hold back. Well, how do you
In
really feel
general,
about him?
in general, looks like he crawled out of a dumpster. Has never seen clean water in his life, and always stained. Like his clothes are always stained. I think that's where I get this like burning anger from. Like when we were sanitizing the mic at the 6 feet away mic, I was like, they should do this every time because I've had to go up after that man and I have felt disgusted. I have felt like I wanted to drown myself, bathe in Purell before I like touch the mic he touched.
I've never seen anyone go this hard at someone, and I'm very impressed.
No, I don't even think I'm going hard. I feel like
What?
I'm just...
This man has no redeeming qualities about life. He's stained.
I am just baseline describing this man, and if anybody who sees this saw him, they would agree with me. Especially if a woman saw him, they would agree with me.
I wouldn't disagree with that, but I think he's funny.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I won't lie. If someone's not funny, I'll...
Anyways, that's who I don't like. Who I do like, oh my gosh, John Mulaney.
Yeah.
That's a white man I can trust. That man can
Another
both,
skinny white boy.
yeah, he can rail me and he can make me laugh. Like, I love him.
You always have two opposite answers, by the way. He can rail me, make me laugh. What was the other one you said? Give good head, use good wording, sentences.
Yeah.
It's like you have every answer is like two opposite. One sexual one legit one.
Yeah, well, I really like him, but I also love like Ali Wong, Hannah Gadsby. I can't remember the name of this other comedian. She's a black comedian, and she has jokes about like being in her 20s because she's older. I can't remember her name, but she's amazing. Like, she makes me like roll on the floor laughing. So I'm just like, I can't believe I don't remember her name. But she's like older, and she jokes about like her experiences in her 20s.
It's not Wanda Sykes.
No, but I like her too.
I'm trying to think. Now I'm just gonna spend the whole time thinking about.
Yeah,
her.
no. If I find a clip, I will send it to you. She's awesome.
Okay.
What about you? Like, who are your faves?
My faves are Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Just because, for one, well, a lot of reasons, but one reason specifically, he's the most comfortable person I've ever seen on stage in my life.
Yeah, it's honestly amazing.
It's legit mind blowing to be watch him film a comedy special and like sit down and ask for a cigarette and just go up there and just start smoking and like just very calmly, like not trying to rush the material, not trying to think about material, just talking. And then gradually just...
he's he's a genius.
He's good. He's my favorite for sure. I think George Lopez, because I have to.
No, you have to.
Because he's Mexican, I think I have to.
See, I feel like that's the pressure I don't like, right? Like, I'm an Indian comedian. Like, do I have to like Lily Singh? Because
I don't... Because she hosted that late night show, or a show, right?
Yeah, and...
What did you think of it?
I mean, I haven't watched the show, so I can't really comment. But I never really liked her, like, from the early days, because I knew about her from, like, her YouTube days, and it's like, I just don't vibe with that style of comedy, but because the representation for us is so limited, we have this pressure of, like, aligning ourselves.
Her.
Yeah. But I'm just like, no, you know?
Oh, man.
Even if I don't like them, there's this pressure to like support them. So I feel like
why not? You have to.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, I kind of feel like with Fluffy and George Lopez, I'm kind of like, you know what? I think I have to support them.
Yeah. Even if you don't necessarily fuck with it.
That's true. I like how it went from proper sentences to be like, even if you don't fuck with it, you know, you fuck with it. You sound like all my friends from Chicago right there.
I definitely am like a girl who can do both.
That I can see. I want to ask you one more. Oh, keyboard thing. I still need to learn that.
Yeah.
I need to learn. I can just play the opening of when the Saints come marching in.
Oh. I learned, well, I don't want to flex because I can't play it anymore. Just as a disclaimer, I can't play it anymore.
Isn't it? I mean, I don't know if it's like riding a bike, but kind of maybe?
Well, I don't want to get into my post-traumatic stress disorder, but I've forgotten some skills from early parts of my life. And I think immigrating doesn't help, right? Because I like completely have blanked out so much of my life in India. It's kind of wild. But I used to be like a concert pianist from the ages of like 5 to like 13. And
5?
I started playing when I was 4. Dead ass. My
How
parents.
Do you? I can't remember even a memory when I was 4.
Yeah, no, I was started when I was 4 because my parents were competing.
4?
Yeah, they were competing with a neighbor who started when she was 3. So they were like, "You're
3?
Yeah, they were like, you're behind the timeline. Like, we're gonna start you on the piano."
That's so crazy to me.
So I started like so very young. By the time I was 8, I was a concert pianist. Like, it was wild. And then by the time I was 10, I had taken 4 exams, like music exams, with the Trinity College of London. and become certified. And then I played for a few more years, and I learned a lot of Bollywood songs. Like, that was my thing that I learned. And then I stopped playing, like, at the age of 13 or 14, and I so regret it. Like, I really want to get back in it, because I remember how good it felt to, like, play.
When's the last time you played the keyboard or piano?
Probably then, yeah. Like,
really?
Probably when I was, like, 14.
Damn.
So, I really, like, want to get my hands on a keyboard and start again.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'll give you the model tape to the one I have. Because
Yeah.
I remember I bought it not far from here on sale, and
Okay.
maybe I just have it here now.
I'm down. Like, I really, everyone's like, there's this pressure to, like, come out of quarantine fucking brand
With a new skill, a new like workout, a new whatever, and
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I'm the same, except I have a couple more tattoos now, but I'm the same.
that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely, like, I learned how to make jam. And I actually told this guy that I'm going on a date with, that I was gonna bring some, but I totally didn't make any. So I'm just
The one
gonna-
today?
Yeah.
So you told me you were going to go on a date with him today and bring him jam.
Yeah, because he's bringing a whole charcuterie board. Like, so we can have a picnic in the park.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I was at 4 today.
Yeah, he wanted to have a picnic in the park, charcuterie board. I was supposed to bring jam. Like, I was.
But then what happened?
I forgot.
The correct answer was I read it through the podcast.
I
set you
forgot.
up.
I forgot, and then he reminded me,
And then
and I just pushed it to be a little later. So hopefully.
To be fair though, it's really hot right now, so don't.
It is, and I don't know.
Just do your date later. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you can wait. It's okay. He'll be fine.
There you go. Your stage presence coming out again. It's coming out once more.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how has dating been for you in this
Here's where we're ending the podcast.
situation?
And this is the end of the podcast. I can't.
Okay,
No.
you can't.
I will.
I
told you- I
can't, but I will.
I told you a little bit about my whole dating thing. Is
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not the relationship type guy. I've tried to be, and I think one day I might be, but not now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like we both talked about before filming, that there's different types of people and whatnot. But at least one thing I learned now is I'm more honest with people.
Me too.
Before I wouldn't be like, sometimes if I just want to fling or something, I wouldn't tell them something. What if they get mad or whatever? But I realize now that girls respect it more if you tell them up front.
Yeah, we do.
And if you
Because it saves us time.
it saves everyone time.
And it saves you time, yeah.
So it's one thing I learned now. It's like, hey, just be honest. If you're at a point where you want to do that, just be upfront with people. And when you're not, you just waste a whole bunch of time. So that's one thing I did learn. So I guess dating for me is still the same. I'm just dating, but I'm just more honest.
Yeah. That's good. That's growth. See, you have some quarantine growth. You come out of quarantine brand new.
But I can't make jam. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh my god. I can teach you how to make jam. It's so easy,
What do you
and
need?
everybody's so impressed by it. Well, honestly,
Oh my
the
god.
clout of
Everyone-
making jam
Oh,
is unparalleled.
I just want to do that. I want to make jam just for Instagram and to get clout.
Well,
By the
I
way,
never.
it's the first time I used the word clout.
Oh, really? Ever?
How did it go? Did it sound okay?
Yeah. I mean, there you go. Maybe I should start keeping track of your words now too. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Yeah, I never posted my jam on Instagram. This is the other there. But I did good, bro. I was surprised because I am not a domestic girl. Like, I have made all my exes cook for me. Like, I can't. So when I made this jam, I went in with very low expectations. I just had like a bunch of fruit that was like super ripe, and like I didn't want to waste it.
Yeah.
So kind of looked up like a recipe on how to make jam without pectin, because pectin is something you need, whatever that is.
Pectin?
Yeah, it's like a preservative.
Okay.
That's something you need to make jam. So I looked up like no pectin jam recipe on Pinterest, and
Oh, Pinterest.
I'm in my late 20s, so Pinterest is like heavy rotation.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, so I looked it up, kind of just, made like a little brown sugar mixed berry jam. And damn, I was like, this is this is something. You did something. Like, I was impressed with myself.
That's good. That's how you should feel when you make something good. You're like,
yeah.
I did this.
I made banana bread once to recover from a panic attack. Literally had a panic attack.
How many panic attacks have you had before?
Like serious panic attacks, maybe only 1 or 2. Okay. This was like a junior panic attack. It wasn't that serious, but it was still like disturbing. And so I was like, you know what? I need to like channel my energy. I don't have anyone's dick to sit on. I'm gonna make banana bread.
We'll end it on that. Just that last sentence. We'll just end with that.
I'm gonna make banana bread.
I like how that takes away all the stress.
It does. It's like, I don't know. I don't have that available to me right now. So I've been channeling.
What's the date tonight? Like, you never know.
No. He's too nice. Like,
then why wait? So we had this part I don't get. Because we had this talk before. If you know he's too nice and you're not going to do that, do you just want a free picnic?
Well, I want a picnic, but I also feel like I'm in my late 20s. Like, I should be dating seriously. Like, according to the timeline. Yeah. So I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to, like, date men who are actually good for me and not just, like, white tattooed men who will, like, rock my shit and ruin my life, which is what I love.
Yeah.
So...
I'm gonna send this podcast to all of my white friends.
Wait, I might actually... Do you care if I record a little section of this?
You can record it.
Okay, because, like, yeah.
I can also send you I can send you the audio of it.
Oh, okay.
If you want that.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like trying to be a better person about dating. Like, I'm trying to date seriously because that's the age I'm in.
Yeah.
And I feel like in 3 to 4 years, because here's the thing, like, to actually settle down with someone, you need to spend like at least 2 years with them. Like, you need to learn everything that's wrong with them. You need to accept that. You need to move in with.
I like how you're avoiding all the good stuff about love and all that. You're like just going all the negatives.
I don't know that they're. I mean, I guess for me, that's what I see. You know.
No, I feel you.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Just the prospect of like spending that much time with someone, low-key might bring upon another panic attack. Like,
2 years with someone, I'm gonna have a panic attack.
And I know people who like quarantine has like fast-tracked their relationships.
One thing I did notice is that it's weird now, relationships and pregnancies and all that, because everything's getting way fast-tracked.
Right. I feel like people are proposing a lot. And
it's because they think they have to, or kind of because they're at a point where they're like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to like. Like, if you were on the rocks about your relationship, like, oh, maybe we should, maybe, I don't know. And now you guys are stuck in quarantine. Yeah.
No, it scares me because I'm just like, yeah, I'm supposed to like sometime, like, do that shit with somebody. Like, or maybe I'm just not meant to, you know, because I feel like, again, like, not to bring in the whole Indian thing again, but the women in my family, like, historically, for generations have had arranged marriages.
Okay.
Like, for generations. I would be the first woman to not have one. And I feel like...
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I feel like having this time to fuck around and make mistakes is super valuable.
It really is. People don't understand the value of, like, I'm my 20s as well.
Yeah.
29, late 20s. But
yeah.
It's a time where I messed up a lot. But, like, that's what you're supposed to do. I fucked up this time really bad, but I'm learning from it and getting better. And it should be like that. Because
with that history of arranged marriages, like, they never had that time. Like, my mom had me when she was 19. Jesus. So when she didn't get to have her 20s. And, you know, she and I are estranged now. But in a way, like, there's a part of me that understands, like, what drove her to the breaking point. Because I'm just like, okay, imagine getting an arranged marriage at 19 to a man who don't know like you're getting pulled out of school. She was putting herself through architecture college. Like she was a bad bitch, and like her progress was stopped by marriage and by like being forced to have a kid and stuff like that. So to me, I'm almost like, I don't want to throw away something that women in my legacy and in my lineage would have died for, or would have had, like, would have done anything
very
to have.
Healthy way of looking at it.
Is it?
It's kind of, it's weirdly healthy because you're justifying it and you're also living your life to the fullest and doing what you have to do.
Yeah, it's.
That's
but
interesting.
I'm also, you know, I fuck around a lot, like I joke a lot, but I'm an intelligent woman. Like I try to make sense of things, and I try to like really step back and process like the way that relationships went or the way that they were after the fact. So I feel like I've learned a lot about myself. Like I was batshit crazy in my first relationship. Like I really sometimes feel like apologizing to like the man.
Give me a few. I want to get a few details of you being batshit crazy, and then we'll wrap this up. But I'm so curious now.
Oh man.
Like batshit crazy, like jealousy, like check their phone.
No, nothing. I was never on that level. Okay. It was more just like, I think I prolonged fights. Like I just wouldn't stop fighting.
Prolonged?
Yeah, like there was no reason. It could have been discussed like calmly, but I think again, like being raised by like an emotionally unstable mom and stuff, like I had to learn that like those things are learned from your childhood, and you have to like go to therapy, and you have to like take care of yourself and learn about yourself to like overcome that. I think I prolonged fights, and I was just like really insecure. And I feel like, going back to your previous question, like if I could go back to myself back then and be like, give her some advice, I would tell her that it's not that deep, bro. It's really not. If he's cheating on you, leave him. Like, don't try to keep him. Don't try to get him to apologize.
Don't force anything.
Like, that was the thing. Like, I always tried to get him to apologize, and he would, like, cheat on me multiple times, and it's like, it was not worth it. He already cheated on me. Like, why was I there wasting my time? So now I feel like I value my time a lot more.
Okay.
And I have just generally, like, with stand-up and everything, just, like, have better self-worth. Like, I'm, like, hesitating to say that because I have allowed so much toxic white dick in my life and in my vagina, so.
Any white guys listening out there, feel free.
Yeah, especially if you're toxic, I mean, definitely just DM me. All you got for me is dick and lies. DM me.
Dick and lies? It was never the same thing with you. Just, I don't know, dick and lies, and also remember, it's not that deep, bro.
It's not that deep,
That's
bro.
the best. I like that question. I'm going to ask it again, because it got that response. It's not that deep, bro.
I did, like, quarantine has been weird, though, like, definitely had some weird entanglements in quarantine. Like, I literally had a man fall in love with me on Zoom.
How'd you get?
So, like, in March, I was doing a comedy panel, and, I mean, that's the thing. I've been trying to stay connected with comedy, so my intentions were good. Like, I had no idea this man was watching, and he would, like, catch feelings for me, but he was, like, watching me on this panel for months. And he, like, slid in my DMs 3 times, like, really tried to get my attention. And he was from Michigan. He was from a small town in Michigan.
Jesus.
And he literally, like, slid in my DMs with the kind of tall claims, bro. He was like, you know what? Like, I will kill an elk for you with my bare hands.
That's true love right there.
Yeah, and I was like, no, that's not necessary. It's like...
It's not necessary.
It's okay, I don't need that. And he was like, well, what? Like, those men in LA, I bet they can't even change a tire. Like, I will kill an elk with my bare hands for you. I am the kind of man that will put food on your table. And I was like, not gonna lie, like, this is kind of hot.
How is this elk dude getting to you?
Yeah, no, he was like, he got in my head. And again, I don't know if it's just quarantine, because I literally...
It's probably quarantine.
Yeah, because I literally texted him back being like, I'm only entertaining you right now because we're in quarantine, and I don't know if I'm, like, emotionally all there. But this is kind of hot. Like, kill an elk for me, daddy.
It's such a weird turn of events.
Yeah, and then...
That's like a Hail Mary, like, pickup line that he threw.
No, but he was really, I don't know what it was about him, like something about this, like, cow milking ass, elk killing ass. Like I I've never seen, I've never been approached in this way. Like it was kind of hot.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Also, he was 6 feet tall, so that helped.
He's white?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so we figured we got to the root of the thing, and
He's
a
white,
skinny white boy.
4-letter name. You know, classic.
Matt, John.
Well, I can't. Well, I don't want to like name him.
That's fine.
But
Okay.
what ended up happening though is I ended up catching feelings for him.
What the
put my clown makeup
fuck?
on. Yeah, no, it was so stupid. Again, I think this is totally because of quarantine, but I ended up catching feelings for him. And he texted me one fine day being like, Akanksha, we can't flirt anymore.
They got a girl?
I got a girl.
Yeah.
In real life, I was like,
At least you're in real life. At least he's honest.
But he made me a fucking playlist, dude. Like, he made me like a 10-hour long playlist. I had all these cute fucking songs on it.
Fuck.
I felt like I totally fell for Elk Guy. I'm not gonna lie. That was
Such a weird entanglement during quarantine.
It was just like a cross-country entanglement.
Alright, well,
Never even met him.
now
FaceTimed
people-
him twice.
Now people know that, like...
Well, I will not make the same mistake again.
She won't. I'll kill this deer for you. Oh my god.
I know. I was like, okay. So yeah, that was one, and then the other one, I lost my co-virginity. That's what I'm calling it.
Co-virginity.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's what I'm calling it.
Are you coining that term?
I should.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like I should. I mean, I feel like it's not that original, but that's what I'm calling it. Because it was like, I think part of the reason that this cow milking, elk killing guy got so in my head, aside from the fact that he was like really hot and made a playlist for me, was that I was just getting no dick, like in real life. And
Well, because you can't go, no one's going anywhere.
right, and
Can't really
like
meet anybody.
it's not safe. Like you can't safely get dick down anymore. Not that it was ever really that safe
I
as a
was
woman.
just about to say.
It's like, you know, sometimes I'd be getting choked and I'm like, oh, I might die, but it'll be worth it.
It's okay though.
It'll be worth it. But yeah, the second one, I lost my co-virginity to like, so embarrassed to admit this, but you know, this is a safe space, I guess. Nobody fucking knows me who's watching this.
Oh,
so.
no one's watching.
Nobody's
Also, no one's watching.
There's a 23-year-old musician from New York City who was in LA for 2 days. And the reason I allowed this to unfold was because he had a negative COVID test from like the day before. It's so funny. You gotta like exchange COVID tests. Like I was like, you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Here's my COVID test.
Here's my COVID test. Daddy.
That's such a crazy time.
It's such a weird, it's so weird.
Because like that sense of security, which probably you were so much like, okay, now like.
Oh, like now my pussy can safely go out to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like 23 years old, like so embarrassing. Like I'm old, okay, but whatever. And the funny thing was, like he was typical one of those white guys who's like, I've never fucked an Indian chick before. Like it was like this huge experience for him. But I think I found out later. So we like, you know, he came over one night. We went like 8 rounds. It was awesome. And I should have just left it at that, right? Because he was only in LA for 2 days. Should have just left it at that. But then the next day he was like, can I come over before I like catch my flight? And I was like, can't help it. Keep on coming back, whatever. So he came over the next day. And that's when the shit hit the fan. Because he was like, literally had to stop halfway through like, I don't know, round 4 or 5, and I was like, you know what, I probably broke his dick, like, whatever. But then he was like, I gotta get something off my chest.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, here we go. Here's where sex turns into therapy for the man, as it often does. And I was like, oh no, it's therapy time, like, let's go. I started playing Candy Crush, like, immediately, because I was like, I gotta look at my phone, I can't look at this man right now. He was like, the thing is, like, there's this girl that I really care about back in New York, and, like, she doesn't care about me anymore. And, like, she stopped talking to me. And the thing is, like, she's Latina, and I exclusively hook up with Latinas. Like, even you look Latina
You
to
do
me.
look Latin.
And I was just like, bro, like, even if that is true, why tell me? I don't want to, like, I know that white guys fetishize me, but I don't want to hear it. So it's just like...
Because you're Latina and also Indian.
Well, I'm not Latina.
Well, I can take that. You look like it. So
I could pass, I guess. So I was just like, oh, thank you so much for blessing me with your dick because I look Latina. Like, you fucking
As you're
asshole.
playing Candy Crush?
As I'm playing Candy Crush, trying to ignore him, he's like, what do you think? Like, all my friends are like bros. I need like a female perspective. And I was just like, I have no perspective, bro. I'm never gonna see you again. Like, leave my house. Like, I was beyond done. I was just
so
like...
you've had an interesting quarantine.
Maybe. I've only had 2 entanglements. Honestly, the elk killer was it. I think he gave me, like, a new set of trust issues. Because, like, he really, like...
And also, you never met him.
I never
So
met
it's a
him.
very specific set of trust
but
issues.
that's the thing. It's like, I think we hated each other so much, like, low-key, that the sex would have been fire in person. Like, I think we both felt that. And then he was just, like, started dating some, like, string bean-looking white girl. And I was just like, yeah, that's what happens. Like, he probably couldn't handle all this. So, you know, I don't blame him. But it was still disappointing because the Bollywood side of me, because I was born and raised in Bollywood, the Bollywood side of me was like, what if he gets a plane out here from Michigan and we just have like a romantic weekend and never talk again? Because that's honestly what I wanted.
That romantic weekend like that? And never talk again?
Yeah, because, you know, like I said, I don't want to get into anything real.
Yeah, just entanglements.
Just entanglements, just passing the time. Like,
skinny white guys. If you're not picking up from this, I don't know what to tell you.
What's funny, I had a skinny white guy in my DMs last night at 1 a.m. And I could not be giving him more signals. Like, I was flirting with him. Like, I was telling him in so many words to just come over and ruin my life.
And you use big words, so your words are pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, I dumbed it down. A little bit. You know, I know your audience. That's the first rule. When I go to the comedy club that cannot be named, I do all my dumb bitch material because that's the audience.
Wow. I learned so much.
Yeah. But anyways, this guy, he's just texting me. He's like, what's up? What are you doing? And I was like, I'm listening to an audiobook, you know, real hot girl shit. Like, what do you want me to say?
As all hot girls do on Friday nights.
All hot girls do on a Friday night. And I was just like, I had such a bad week. I just needed, like, the demons fucked out of me. Like, I needed it.
Did you say that?
Yeah. Well, not in
Okay.
the DMs, but when he called me. Because, like, in the DMs, he was, like, literally, I took the lamest excuse to DM him. Because on his Instagram story, he was eating kale chips. And I was like, so how are those? Like, I literally you know what? Girls can be fuckboys too.
I guess how you started with the kale chips and you moved into I didn't need the demons fucked out of me.
Yeah,
it starts with kale chips. That's a very steep
Look,
progression.
I'm a finesser. I can make that progression. I can make that connection.
All right.
That's, you know.
All right.
So I asked
respect
him,
it.
how are the kale chips? And he goes, meh, they're okay. Kind of whack. Like, you know, typical one-word responses, like, gives me nothing to work with. And I was like, I needed a snack in my bed. Well, I guess kale chips are not going to be it. Like, that's literally what I said. Like, it was a slide. And he just was like, LOL. And I was just like, I'm done flirting with you, sir. And I sent him the eye roll emoji.
Wow.
And he called me immediately. Like, he called me on the phone. And he was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how to text. Like,
do that again. Say that line again. Say it again. I have a better response. Say it.
Yeah, he, like, called me immediately. And I was just like, look, I don't do this. Like, usually people do this to me. But I, like, really want the devil fucked out of me by you. I chose you. But if you're going to LOL, if you're just going to LOL, then fuck off. I can find another one. And he fell in line so quickly. He's just like, oh my God, no, I was trying to be respectful. I was just trying to respect you. And I was like, okay, but I want you to disrespect me. I really need to be disrespected right now.
There you go.
And yeah, so I think he's going to disrespect me after he takes his COVID test. He's going to take his COVID test next week.
I'm glad to hear that he's going to respect you and also disrespect you.
Yeah,
It's both.
You need that balance.
It's both. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to end on the respect. He likes to be respected and disrespected.
Yeah, I like to be respected, like, in society. But, like,
as one does.
You know, when it's a toxic, skinny white guy with tattoos, like, his tattoos are intense. They're, like, chef's kiss, like, so good. And he has blue eyes, and I'm just like, yeah, fucking disrespect me. That's
so many
what
toxic, skinny white guys are just going to be...
Well, that's the problem. I'm going to get the street trash, like, crawling in the DMs, because I think skinny white boys take it to mean, like, any skinny white boy. But I have a very specific...
Well, they got to shoot their shot.
Type. They got to be a little spicy, you know, with the tattoos and stuff.
Oh, man. I'm going to end on the spice thing. I got to pee really bad.
Okay.
But this has been fun. Actually, I learned a lot.
Thanks for letting me share. I feel like I haven't talked to anyone about this.
Yeah, it's just been fun.
Yeah.
This has been good. I like this.
Yeah. This is fun. Thank you for, like, listening to me talk for so long.
Well, it's part of the whole thing. Just talking, shooting shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was another episode of Next Level Thoughts. And we are done.
Yay!